Next event on the track, the 24 finalists in the 5,000 meters. Athletes qualified here from regionals in Jacksonville and College Station, 12 from each. That's how we got to 24. There's the collegiate record set this year. There is Hayward Samuel. He was second in the 10,000 meters on Wednesday.
And New Mexico needs a 1-2 finish to crack the top 4 on the team standings from Ishmael Kipkurui and Hayward Samuel, just like they did in the 10,000 2 nights ago. It was Ishmael Kipkurui who won that 10,000 meter title, and it went out really conservatively early on. They were able to lay back in the pack with the number of athletes who are fresh in this field. I think that this will be a much more honest effort. Dwight, looking at the field that you have 5 athletes who have won NCAA track championships. You also have 7 athletes who have run sub 13:20 at this distance.
And with Matthew Koske not winning in the steeplechase, it took the Lobos out of the team title race. But still, with 3 athletes, a top 4 finish as a team would be very impressive.
And coming off that runner-up finish in the 1500, you do have Ethan Strand of University of North Carolina, who is up there in the mix, currently leading Drew Bosley of NAU.
So 65-second first 400 meters, pretty honest, but it's a large field. And there's still a reasonable amount of congestion. You can see Easton Strand there about 8th or 9th in the middle there with the powder blue of North Carolina. There's Drew Bosley of Northern Arizona.
Also Rocky Hansen, he won the NCAA East Regional. He's coming into this one fresh. He had a top 3 finish indoors in the 5,000 at the national championships.
Hayward Samuel currently in 5th position. He was the defending champion in 10,000 meters, but was beaten by his teammate, the freshman Ishmael Kipkurui.
And they're working together in this one. They had very independent race strategies in the 10,000. Dwight, looks like they're much more so trying to work together. Taking a look right now at Matt Strangio from Portland, who won the NCAA West Regional. He has dedicated his outdoor season to his father, who passed away in March while Matt was competing at the NCAA Indoor Championships. His father was a huge influence on his running career. His dad was a track athlete at Cal Poly. He ran an incredible 13:24 at the Stanford Invitational. Matt did to open up his outdoor season. Wasn't even sure if he was going to race there. That was his first competition after the NCAA Indoor Championships. It was the same weekend as a celebration of life for his dad, so felt just an outpouring of support from all of his Portland teammates who showed up to support him over the course of that weekend at the race and then also at the service and celebration. Currently at 2:49 through 1,000 meters.
All right, well, we've got a pack sort of forming. They've slowed down a little bit, but a lot of time left to go. Back to the 5,000, and things have sped up significantly. As you can see, the pack's starting to thin out a little bit more.
4:31 through 1,600. Dwight, it's been a little bit erratic. They went 68.5, 72.5, 65.5, so a little bit of back and forth with Rocky Hansen up there. He's one who really likes to shake things up in championship races, certainly not afraid to make a bold move. Also easy to identify, that bright orange, getting a look at it there, that is Brian Musau from OK State, who was the NCAA Indoor 5K champion. He has a great closing kick. Ishmael Kipkurui in great position at this point. There's a great look at Brian Musau from Oklahoma State. And Coach Dave Smith said that a couple months ago when he won indoors, he was so excited. He hoped that he would win a national championship, but didn't necessarily believe that he would. So he took a long break after the indoor season, had just one race before the NCAA regional, didn't even run their conference meet. Now is really coming around to full fitness. He is fresh coming into this, as is Rocky Hansen. So the guys who are fresh are trying to take advantage of this opportunity with the other athletes in this field who have so many laps in their legs, like those guys doubling back from the 10,000.
It looks like Kip Kurui and Samuel are no longer working together, as they're well separated in this pack. Kip Kurui up as Samuel makes a move just as I say that. There is your 10,000 runner-up making his move on the outside to get more into the mix. And he does join. No, he does not join his teammate.
Yep. They are currently 3 and 4
yes.
right there. And one thing that, as they go through in 64-3, Hopton Samuel has been a lot more conservative in some of these races because he's just had so many incidences. He has really that vertical bouncy stride that's contributed to him in a number of situations. Dwight, we've seen it when he's gotten tripped in races, going back to the 10,000 meters last year in cross country when he got spiked and lost a shoe halfway through the race. So he's really trying to do a much better job of in-race awareness and trying to stay out of any trouble, doing a fantastic job of it right now with his teammate there in tow.
So Rocky Hansen, the sophomore from Wake Forest, continuing to lead from the front. He's had a couple of laps right around 64 seconds, so pretty honest. There are the two New Mexico Lobos. On your right of your screen, there's the 10,000 meter champion and the runner-up and the defending champion on his left. Here is a little bit of look back for the 10,000 from Wednesday night.
And you can see when Ishmael Kip Kurui just made that move, he blew past the rest of the field. There was no one who could hang with him. Samuel tried to close on him, but he does run with so much power, especially for a 10,000 meter, 5,000 meter runner. So the freshman taking the title away from the defending champion. That was that 18-point performance on night one. They're now going to try to replicate this, but Brian Musau looks incredibly comfortable right now. And when they've gone head to head, Brian Musau has tended to have the advantage over Hopton Samuel. And this is much like Brian Musau ran the NCAA Indoor Championship in the 5,000 that he won just a few months ago. Rocky Hansen has been up front for a number of laps. There you have a great look at Brian Musau. Has his teammate Fouad Messaoudi in this field as well, as they've been on a very steady last 3 laps, right around 64 seconds.
Ishmael Kip Kurui, now the collegiate record holder in the 10,000 meters, run earlier this year. Hopton Samuel now up into second place.
Talking with New Mexico head coach Darren Gosson, he said that Hopton has great memories and great experience running here in Eugene at Hayward Field, not just from the NCAA championships last year, but he also ran here for the World Championships back in 2022. So a lot of that familiarity has really benefited him, and that is something that he has imparted onto his teammate Ishmael Kip Kurui. Kip Kurui did not arrive on campus until December, was a little bit banged up coming in. So he has very, very much come into strong form over the course of the outdoor season, as they have 3 laps to go, and you can tell everyone's starting to get a little bit anxious, Dwight.
So we will not see any records set in this race, but we might have a great finish. Lots of athletes still very much in the mix. Some of them are doubling back from Wednesday. Some of them are fresh.
And that's kind of been the trend of this championship, is it? It's been a lot of close finishes in the middle distance and distance races. And I mean, there are 10 athletes who are in this with 2.5 laps to go.
That's Marco Langon of Villanova there in the white top and dark blue shorts, just behind Brian Musau. Speaking of Musau, here comes his teammate.
That is Fouad Messaoudi. Messaoudi, one of those national champions that we referenced. He won 2 years ago indoors over 3,000 meters. Both of them have great finishing kicks. Matt Strangio has gone to the front.
2 laps remaining. It's a 63.1 lap after a 62.5 lap, so they're definitely winding it up.
Ishmael Kipkurui is going to have to find a way to navigate out of traffic and get alongside his teammate at this point. Here comes Brian Musau. In talking to coaches with athletes in this field, a lot of them, the advice they were giving was, if you throw a punch, it better be a knockout, because you're not going to have time to do anything else with the caliber of competition, the talent, the speed, especially the closers that you have in this race.
Matt Strangio continuing to lead. Hopton Samuel is there. Brian Musau. Ishmael Kipkurui is just a little off the pace. Back in 8th, but not really staying connected. Here comes the belt as Musau goes into the lead. Musau, Samuel, Langon, Strangio, Hansen.
Keep your eyes on Marco Langon, who is moving well. The Villanova junior
They won't catch him.
Fighting his way into the thick of it.
Now there's a lot of bumping as athletes try to find a room to run. Samuel in a little bit of a box there. It's Musau, Langon, Samuel, and Valentin Soka of California Baptist. Langon going wide. And Musau head to head. Musau has the other gear. Langon doesn't have it. Samuel leaving it too late. Can he reel him in? There isn't enough real estate. Brian Musau wins the 5. Samuel 2nd. Langon 3rd.
Brian Musau sweeps the indoor and outdoor 5,000 meter titles for OK State. 55.8, that final 400. Indoors, he hoped he'd win a national title. Proved he could win a national title. You saw with the way he finished that race, he believed that he could win the title over the rest of this field.
4:01 for his last 1,600 meters, which is just 9 meters short of a mile. That is international championship level type of running. The last 200 meters.
He gets a challenge from Marco Langon of Villanova, and you can see Musau is gritting it out right now. It looks like Langon has a little bit more right here, but how quickly, zero hesitation from Musau. That experience that he has coming into play. Hopton Samuel giving everything he can to fight to the finish, but it is not enough. You can see Langon takes a tumble over the line. Brian Musau would not be denied as he dominates the NCAA 5,000 meter titles indoors and out.
First time Oklahoma State has won this title outdoors. Musau runs at 13:20.59. Samuel ends up 2nd for New Mexico. Kipkurui all the way down to 7th. So 9 points for the Lobos instead of the 20 that they were looking for. But there is the champion. He did it indoors, comes back a few months later, and does it outdoors. And we will talk to the champion when we return to Eugene. 5,000 meter title was determined. Brian Musau of Oklahoma State repeats his victory from indoors, becomes the first Cowboy to win the title outdoors, and he is downstairs with John.
Thank you, Dwight. If winning 1 is good, winning 2 is better. Congratulations, Brian Musau. It looked like that was an easy trip in terms of tactics. Tell me how that race went for you.
The race, it was very hard. Let me don't lie. It was very hard. Even if you're not like run a good time, it was very tactical. So For me, it was very hard, but I always believe in myself, believe in my workout, and then I always put God in everything I do. So this far, I always say, it's God who brought me here. It's not my workout, my hard work. It's just God.
Why did you choose to go when you did there as we hit the bell?
Yeah, you know, like the thing since I came here, I was just studying the meet, and then I saw we have a couple guys who will be coming from 10K, others from 15. So when I count them and then I count the people that were fresh, I knew where I'm supposed to place myself to win this. Yeah.
Congratulations on a race well run. A champ for Oklahoma State. That is America's brightest orange. Dwight?
All right, John.